everyone, welcome back. My name is Dustin Grace, and today we are going to do a pickups video for June 2014. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you're here for the video games, this is going to be a very depressing pickups video for you, because I didn't really do a lot of game hunting. In fact, I did none. And if it wasn't for picking up one game myself and having Alex return to Mother Base, pick up 2 at Hard Off, I would have 0 games this month to show you. There wasn't anything that really came out that I wanted to get, and yeah, I don't know. I just didn't feel the urge to hunt. So anyway, we'll go ahead and get the games out of the way since there's only a couple. Alex went to Hard Off, or Book Off, I should say. It's Book Off, and found a couple things for me. He found me Tales of the Tempest on the DS, and Saga 2, Goddess of Destiny. And these are 2 games that I have translated on my DS Ace card. So I like to have the, I like to have the original copies just to have for collecting purposes. So I hear Tales of the Tempest is awful, and Saga 2 is amazing. I still need to get my Saga 2 ROM to work. It keeps saying it's corrupted, so I guess I'll figure it out eventually. And then the only other game I picked up was Mind Zero for the Vita. I was playing Demon Gaze and really just feeling the first-person dungeon crawler. So I heard that this was another one, and I'm always looking for a reason to play my Vita. So pick this up. I hear it's not as good as Demon Gaze, but then again, I kind of got annoyed with some of the stuff Demon Gaze did, so maybe I'll like this one a bit more. Who knows? But pick that up. And that's it for the games. Everything else is DVDs, Blu-rays, and movies, except for a couple things. My girlfriend picked this up for me, a little Godzilla toy. And you find these at you'll find these type of little, they're like in a little box. You find them at Barnes & Noble all the time up by the cash wrap. But you press this spine on his back, and he growls. I don't know how well that picked up. But this LED light in here, I almost blinded myself the first time I used it. But it's very well detailed. The painting's a little off, but I was really surprised at how well the roar and the light works. So that's going to go somewhere here in the game room, because it is actually pretty an awesome little thing. And then my friend Sarah, who dates my friend Chad that I went to PAX with. They both went to PAX with me. She likes to dress up as Link for cosplay, and she decided to get herself a new Master Sword, and was just going to take this old one here, which I'll show it to you. I don't know how well it picks up. She was just going to take this old one to the Goodwill, and Chad's like, why don't you give that to DK? And she gave it to me, so now I have this really nice foam sword that, if I ever get into LARPing, I'll have the fucking Master Sword to go LARPing with. It's a little beat up around the end, but that's just from them putting it into the sheath that they made. But other than that, I'm really happy to have it. It looks really nice. I kind of want to get like little hooks to kind of hang it up on a wall or something. But it's a little, if you kind of swing it around a little bit, there's not really anything too hard here in the handle, so you can't really do a lot of big sword strikes with it or anything, but it's still just a cool piece to have around here. And really, that's it for the games. Everything else is Blu-rays and DVDs. And unfortunately, these DVDs, before I started filming, or I should say Blu-rays, although they have the DVDs in there as well, I left them out on the TV and forgot to bring them in. But I did pick up Steins Gate, Volume 1 and 2, and these are the really weird slipcases that are actually DVD sized, and they have these little brackets down here at the bottom. And these things just got beat to hell coming to me from Amazon, but everything else is in great condition. So these are just going to get thrown up into the closet, and I'm just going to keep the Blu-rays on the shelf. But I'm really enjoying Steins Gate, but man, you have to pay attention to it. And my PC probably wouldn't run the game, and I wouldn't want to play a visual novel on my PC anyway. So I picked up the animes, and then of course as soon as I picked these up, they announced like a all-in-one version, but no big. That's not coming out until September, and I got them now. But I need to start it over because I tend to multitask when I watch shows doing other things, and you can't do it with Steins Gate. You really need to pay attention to it. So Mike's really happy that I have that. I just need to start the whole series over again and really just sit down and pay attention to it. Let's see what else we got here. Okay. Just picked this up the other day. Picked up Season 6 of Star Trek The Next Generation. Haven't got around to watching it yet, but I'm a huge Star Trek fan, so it was a no-brainer for me. Picked up the new Robocop, and I actually haven't talked about this movie too much. I actually really love this movie. As a big fan of the original Robocop, I went into this with a lot of trepidation. And, you know, I really kind of scaled back my expectations. And I was very pleasantly surprised by this film. It's a lot less action-y than the 80s movie, and a lot less violent, a lot less, you know, Verhoeven-esque, I guess. But there's some real brains behind this movie, and it's just spectacular to see Robocop sort of come back. Hopefully it rebirths the franchise and we continue on, because I actually really dug this movie. Probably my favorite movie of the year so far, and quickly becoming one of my favorites of this director's repertoire, The Grand Budapest Hotel. Absolutely love this film. It's instantly my number 3 Wes Anderson movie. You know, Royal Tenenbaums and Moonrise Kingdom still kind of beat it out, but those have different sort of reasons as to why. But this one is not as weighty as the other films. This is more of a slapstick comedy, and there's just something, you know, finally it's kind of getting out of that. Wes Anderson's kind of getting out of his depressing phase. I'm sorry. Moonrise Kingdom was very uplifting. This movie is very whimsical and slapstick-esque, and it doesn't have that same sense of, you know, tragedy that like Royal Tenenbaums or Rushmore has. So, you know, really good, really refreshing. You'll definitely not see another movie like this year. I know RPG Swagman's probably going to leave a comment about my Wes Anderson love, but I absolutely love his films, and this was one of the best. Picked this up. It actually just came in today, and I'm a little miffed. Picked up Planet Earth on Blu-ray. The girlfriend and I were watching it, and I was like, man, I really need to get the Blu-rays, because the DVDs still look great, but you can still see the artifacting, and it really just bugs me. I don't know why. But the bad part about this is, and I've already sent an email to the seller, Disc 4 is missing, and instead I have the Blue Planet. So, yeah, I'm going to have to figure that out. I should have just paid the extra money and got it straight from Amazon instead of buying from a third party, but the deal was just $11, you know, the deal was just too real, or too big to be real, so I picked it up, and of course, you know, at that price, they fuck it up, so that might be going back, and I might be getting a different copy, but also kind of picked up some 80s extravaganzas here. Picked up the Ultimate Edition of Legend for like $8. I remember seeing this movie way back in the day, and actually I love the soundtrack, the Jerry Goldsmith soundtrack. I absolutely love. The Tangerine Dream soundtrack, I don't know if I've ever heard it except when I originally watched the movie. But I love Ridley Scott's films, and this is kind of one of his overlooked films, and I really want to get back to it. And as much as I think Tom Cruise is absolutely insane, I will watch him in almost anything. Picked this up. And actually, both of these are from the same director, and I didn't kind of plan it that way, but I guess I was in a real John Carpenter kick. Picked up Escape from New York, and you know, it kind of a companion piece to it is They Live, and both of these movies are just so instantly quotable if you grew up in the 80s, especially They Live, because a lot of the lines from They Live, like I'm here to kick ass and chew bubblegum and I'm all out of bubblegum, was reused in like Duke Nukem and everything. So the lines in these films just kind of live on. And of course you have the immortal Snake Plissken here, who directly probably influenced Solid Snake in the Metal Gear series. So you really need to kind of go back and watch the John Carpenter films of the 80s, because they really, it's amazing how much they've influenced modern culture in a way. And They Live is still, I mean, it's so bad it's good in a way, but there's a real brain behind this movie, and I really like the message that it presents. And watching Roddy Piper go around and, you know, kick everyone's ass is just an amazingly good time. To go along with my Grand Budapest Hotel, I did finally pick up the Blu-ray of The Royal Tenenbaums, and this is my favorite Wes Anderson movie. Amazon was having a Wes Anderson sale, and for some reason Rushmore, I need to get Rushmore and the Blu-ray of Life Aquatic. But for some reason their prices weren't really dropped all that much, but Royal Tenenbaums was $18. Q Greg being down in the comment section saying, well, that's because that movie sucks. But anyway, there's something about this movie that I really love, and I just had to get the Blu-rays because there's so much detail in the background of Wes Anderson's movie that I just like to watch these movies over and over again and just look at everything in the backgrounds. And finally for the movies, I picked up the fourth and final, for now I guess, season of Eastbound and Down. And I say for now because the third season was also supposed to be the final season. But they decided to go back and sort of do it one more time. And this was really good. I was actually, kind of upset with the end of season 3. I didn't think they pulled it off very well. But this one actually does really pull it off. And it goes to some crazy extreme places. But I'm a sucker for Danny McBride. I don't know what it is about him. But he's kind of a one-note guy, but I really like that one note. And Kenny Powers might be a hero for the ages. I don't know. But if you've never checked out Eastbound and Down, definitely check it out. It's one of the funniest shows ever made. And then finally, to round out this very short pickups video, went out and picked up some music because I was listening to this band one day, and I just decided to check and see when the last video or last album I picked up by these guys were, and that is Mogwai. And I gotta hurry up because my girlfriend's here. But I picked up the Rave tapes and absolutely love this, and also the Earth Division EP and Jesus Christ. And I really love this, but I haven't got to listen to this yet. But anyway, that is it for this video. I gotta go. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take care. I'll see you next time.